In the days of the Galactic Republic, the Galactic Credit Standard, or Credit, was the currency that was primarily used throughout the galaxy. The Intergalactic Banking clan was the main influence on the currency, but the supposedly neutral representatives from old banking families began an alliance with the Confederacy of Independent systems and their leader Count Dooku, leading to their downfall and the decline of the credit. Near the end of the war, the senators of Padme Amidala and Rush Clovis had managed to obtain proof of the corruption of the clan, and files that proved the vaults on Scipio were empty. The resulting appointment of Clovis as the head of the banking clan after the arrest of the Core 5 led to further increases in interest rates, and Palpatine's promise for the clan to have its reputation restored after the Clone War was merely symbolic, and the Galactic Credit eventually became worthless. But what if every person in the galaxy received 10,000 credits? How would this affect the economy? Would either the Jedi or the Sith be able to take advantage? How would the credits be used? As you shall discover, a lot could have been different. The Jedi Council had been seated comfortably in their tower, providing details of their next mission to Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker and his Padawan Ahsoka Tano, when the unexpected hologram of Senator Padme Amidala appeared in the centre of the room. The senator reported of the terrifying discovery that the IBC was utilising a 25% interest rate on its loans to both sides, before being interrupted by Senator Bail Organa. The Alderaanian senator reported of a 10,000 credit increase in the accounts of all those on Alderaan, and Grandmaster Yoda had also just received the news that every member of the Jedi Order had also received the same amount. Anakin and Ahsoka are buzzing on their feet as they can finally order a new hyperdrive for their starfighter, but Obi-Wan is wary that this could be some sort of glitch in the accounts of those across the galaxy. In the office of the Supreme Chancellor, Palpatine had just received a disturbing development of the increase in the quantity of money across the worlds. The Sith Lord immediately contacts the Moonless banker and senator Nix Cardon Scipio, and he also did not have an explanation for the rising credits. There had been an immediate devaluation of the Galactic Credit Standard, and the shops across the galaxy were inflating their prices of their products and services at an alarming rate, so Palpatine had to react. The Chancellor entered into his speeder outside of the building and headed to the primary arena with the other senators. But as he calmly travelled, he sensed something wrong in the Force and leapt out to the ground beneath him as a detonator, along with numerous other objects, struck the side of the ship, and the Jedi are quick to rush to the Chancellor's side. Anakin escorted the Chancellor to the Senate building as the clones began to round up the attackers, most of whom were disgruntled merchants affected by the devaluation of the credit. Palpatine eventually made it safely into his Senate pod, and he had been met by a chorus of jeers, but bravely declared they would continue with the intergalactic currency exchanges policy, and that most of it would actually be reinvested into the war effort. The Jedi seated in one of the exterior Senate pods looked in confusion, as they thought that Palpatine would have taken a more severe measure to get rid of the credits, instead of supporting the development. An immediate discussion took place at the temple, and they decided to not spend what they had gained in the Republic war effort for now, but instead they choose to quickly invest in planets not using the credit. The Jedi are able to gain assets in key areas such as oil and fuel, a lot of which have been gambling on the currency, returning to its previous value. Members of the Jedi such as Anakin and Ahsoka mixed their investments with purchases to improve their equipment, all of which had to be approved by the Jedi Council. For the clone army, the sudden influx of credits presents a problem, as the clones in the earlier stages of development had not received their 10,000 credits, and on Kamino, a mutiny had arisen from the newly inducted clones. The Jedi had been alerted to the uprising, and dispatched Master T and Master Kenobi to stop the attack, as the Jedi and the Republic plead for the Chancellor and the Senate to pass a bill to temporarily stop the production of the clone army. Palpatine is left with little choice, as the deaths of many clones was a hindrance to the Sith Lord's plans to eventually execute Order 66. To counter the pause in production, Palpatine secretly asked Poggle the Lesser on Geonosis to stop production in the droid army, and this would ensure that the Republic could not simply surrender quickly. Nowhere was this felt more severely than in the system of Sullust, where Anakin and Ahsoka had been leading their forces against Asajj Ventress. Dooku had been ordered by his master to eliminate Ventress, wary of her increasing power, and as his hologram disappeared, it was soon replaced by a member of the Separatist alliance, telling him that there had been an order in Geonosis to pause the production of droids. Dooku knew that this had been the order from his master, and he felt disgusted and betrayed that Sidious had abandoned the Separatist war effort. Rather than order for the death of Ventress, Dooku decided he would train her in the dark side of the Force and hope to defeat Sidious. The Night Sister, however, had been occupied with Anakin and Ahsoka, both of whom had found their way to her warship, and after a short duel, Anakin overpowers the Dathomirian and orders for her to surrender. Ventress pushed the Jedi back into the walls of the ship and leapt out back to her personal ship, returning to Dooku for a surprising development. Ventress successfully retreated from her lost over Sullust and arrived on Dooku's home planet in her fan-blade starfighter. Kneeling in front of her master, Dooku reminded her how fortunate she had been to survive, but now they would begin their turn against Sidious. Ventress was aware of the power of the Dark Lord of the Sith and suggested to Dooku to go to Dathomir and gather more forces. Dooku agreed, as he needed more warriors to face his master after the supply of droids had been cut off, and he also set about using his influence on the Separatist Parliament. Appearing in hologram form in front of the Separatist Senate on the planet of Raxus Secundus, Dooku denounced the work of the secret Sith Lord Darth Sidious and proposed to inject most of the funds they had mysteriously received into restarting the droid factories, and the senators, believing that the recent death of Senator Mina Bonteri of Onderon to be the work of Sidious, had no choice but to further participate in the Separatist war, fearing the same fate. The restart of the production of droids could not be hidden from the Republic, as it was quickly discovered by Jedi Master Luminara Unduli and Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker from their investigations of Geonosis, so there was increased pressure on Palpatine to continue producing clones. The secret Sith Lord cleverly stalled matters by diverting the attention to the banking clan on Scipio and blamed them for their extreme interest rates, causing all of their troubles. In the meantime, the angry Sith Lord also found his contacts on Geonosis and began force choking them all, until one revealed that they had been decreed to continue the production of droids by the Separatist Parliament. Sidious felt fury at Dooku and knew that his order to eliminate Ventress had fallen on deaf ears and tried to reach his apprentice. To his disgust, Dooku had been nowhere to be found, and he wondered if the Jedi could have something to do with the disappearance and summoned Grandmaster Yoda. The old Jedi could also not produce any answers for Dooku, and he shared their concerns that he had been planning for a surprise maneuver. Yoda had been partially correct, as the Sith apprentice had tailed Ventress to her home planet of Dathomir, and together they bowed to Mother Talzin and asked for her help in defeating Darth Sidious. The leader of the clan had a personal vendetta against Sidious for his abandonment of the Zabrak Maul, and gathered the most powerful brothers and sisters before casting various rituals over them to enhance their strength and agility. Dooku had observed the activity from the comfort of Talzin's lair, and he himself had been overwhelmed by the green smoke, finding himself under the control of the Night Sister leader. The first move for Dooku was to deal with the banking clan on Scipio, and he decided to use Senator Clovis on Scipio to try and manipulate the finances of the Republic. Unfortunately for Dooku, the rather confusing loyalties of the senator did not help the apprentice, as he found himself contacting Senator Amidala on Coruscant. With her ties to the Jedi, she had benefited massively from their investments, and the transmission from Clovis was met by suspicion from particularly Anakin. The Jedi Knight did not trust the banking clan representative and ordered Padme to ignore the pleas of Clovis, and they decided to react to Dooku's next move. The Sith did not hesitate in making this move, using the influx of droids from Geonosis to mount an attack on the planet to force the Jedi to act. Obi-Wan is forced to abandon his duty over the mutiny on Kamino, and alongside Anakin, they go to deal with the Separatist attack on the banks. The Jedi deploy their improved fleet, gained from the money invested in off-world industries, and penetrate the blockade, then dive to the surface below. Waiting for their arrival had not been Dooku, rather General Grievous and his droid army, and as the cyborg dueled the Jedi Master, Anakin reluctantly rescued Clovis, who they needed to infiltrate the main vault fortress. Dragging the senator along the snow-covered floor, they are about to enter the main entrance, when there is an order from Obi-Wan to run. The Jedi moved a lot quicker than Clovis, and managed to leap onto a passing gunship, but Clovis was left stranded as detonators that had been secretly placed by Grievous exploded the entire area. Clovis had been trapped by an avalanche, and despite the best effort of the 501st Legion, as well as the clone medics, the life of the senator ebbed away, and with his final words, he muttered that Dooku had more control over the economy than the Jedi had ever realised. The core 5 in the building of the Vault could never be charged with their crimes of corruption, as they had also perished in the destruction, but the Jedi did at least know that Dooku had been hiding something significant from the eyes of the Republic. The Jedi had no leads to follow Dooku's motives, and before his final killing strike, they needed to go undercover. The Jedi quickly returned to the temple from Scipio, as Palpatine had to find a solution to fix the banking clan and progress his Sith plans. The Chancellor could do little else, other than to install temporary moonless bankers to fill the role, until the matter could be resolved. But the deaths of several prominent bankers could not be swept away so easily, and links were beginning to be made between Palpatine and the former Republic enemy banking clan member Hugo Damask II, after the activity of the Damask holdings had been exposed. Palpatine decided to lie low for a short period of time, and secretly travelled to Dooku's home world in a bid to place the blame on his betrayed apprentice. The revelation of Palpatine taking a large amount of the Damask holdings for himself had been the key piece of information that the Jedi Council had needed, but they were wary that this was a lure by the Sith. Obi-Wan's undercover mission as an anonymous bounty hunter had also proven Dooku's dislike for the Chancellor, as he had spoken at great length about assassinating Palpatine and revealed his mysterious new army. But as Obi-Wan returned from his mission in a Republic freighter, he received a panicked transmission from Grandmaster Yoda, reporting that the clones had turned upon the Jedi on the orders of Palpatine. Obi-Wan felt a massive jolt in the side of his ship as Republic gunships fired relentlessly at his craft, and he tried his best to control the burning ship as it plummeted to the ground. Skidding to an unceremonious halt, Obi-Wan rushed to the temple and assisted the Jedi, as he soon found Anakin. The Master and Padawan had to find a path to Palpatine, and they run into his office through the blaster fire. There they find an empty office, apart from Amidala, and the Vice Chair of the Galactic Senate remarks that Palpatine had wanted Anakin to join him on his journey to negotiate peace talks with Dooku. The Jedi look at the Chagrian politician, as they could not believe that Palpatine was still continuing to try to deceive the Jedi, even though his entire regime had been exposed. The Jedi managed to hustle into Coruscant's cargo dock and hide in amongst the crates to their destination, not knowing that they had company aboard. Just as they reach Dooku's planet, Anakin uses a mind trick on the unsuspecting pilot to gain control of the ship, and they glided to the surface. To their shock, they are met by a blindingly bright green cloud of smoke, and Obi-Wan realised that the Night Sisters had been the secret army that Dooku had been boasting about. The Jedi Master ordered his Padawan to land in the mountains, and together they carefully peer across the valley, as Palpatine and the clone troopers were in a mighty fight with the Night Brothers and Night Sisters. Suddenly, the Jedi hear a rustling from behind, and the mysterious company that had been aboard their ship had been revealed to be Ahsoka Tano. The Togruta had snuck aboard the ship as usual, and could not bear to see the clones that they had commanded working for the Sith. Anakin agreed with the sentiment of his Padawan, and they choose to kill Palpatine first. The Jedi struggle to not be blinded by the battle of the Force and Night Sister magic between Talzin and Palpatine, but Anakin uses the hate he had recently built up for his former mentor to divert the fire of the clones into Palpatine, sending him to the floor in a heap. The Dathomirians and Dooku look at the Jedi, as the light finally revealed the number of dead Night Brothers, Night Sisters and General Grievous, and Talzin approaches to greet the Jedi for their efforts. As Dooku was still under the spell of the Night Sister leader, she had decided to give him to the Jedi as a token of gratitude, and the Jedi graciously leave the planet. The death of Palpatine had also stopped the clones across the galaxy from attacking the generals that they had served, and with a temporary Chancellor Senator Amidala in charge, all of the newest clones were to be given 10,000 credits upon their induction into the army, something which could be done due to the Jedi's clever investments and the reduction in the output of the clones. Dooku was tried in front of a military tribunal and sentenced to a life of confinement to the infamous Citadel, failing to reap the rewards of his efforts to defeat the Sith Lord. The Jedi were reinstated as the galaxy's peacekeepers, and the previous banking clan policy had been abolished for a superior currency exchange system that strengthened the value of the credit to its previous standard. as Yoda sat in his seat on the council. Perhaps the mysterious addition of 10,000 credits had not been a bad occurrence after all. That is it for what if every Star Wars character received 10,000 credits. If you enjoyed this what if, please like this video, turn on that notification bell, click that subscribe button on this channel, as well as on my other channel What If Films. And as always, leave a comment on what if you'd all like to see next, and how I can improve my videos. Thank you all very much for watching, and see you next time.